Morning, folks. This morning's soap's brought to us by TFS. Name of this one here is Uncle Walter. I'll have a scent description down below. This one here comes with about 5 ounces of soap. The one I have came with the, I guess you might say, an extra lid and a scoop for the soap. And that's what the soap looks like on the inside. Once again, it's fairly soft soap, firm in the container, easy to scoop out, and easy to whip up into a lather also. It didn't take much work at all. Worked up pretty good. That's a horsehair brush, by the way. Got the alum block, no rubber band this morning. You get the witch hazel, black ice that's mentholated. Got the matching aftershave to go right along with it. And also got the Shaven Sailor beard oil that I'll be using off camera. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, using what's left over from the cube, more like a sliver. And the shaver of the day is a Supply Injector. The version I have is nice, bright, shiny, polished, and some would consider it a fingerprint magnet, which, yep, it will attract all the fingerprints. But I really like the way it looks. It's a heavyweight, in my opinion. I don't know exactly how much it weighs. I'm kind of guessing right around the 4-ounce mark. In other words, it's not like a Schick injector or a PAL or anything of the sort. It is got some weight behind it. And the blade that I'm using today is a Personna blade on its first use. The what I mentioned yesterday about the mini hair shaper blades, this is what I'm referring to, is the mini hair shaper blade. You can tell it doesn't have the key or the stem right there to insert the blade for like an injector, usually used with a shavette, in other words. And when I installed the blade in the Supply Injector, it's just, you know, since I'm putting in a new one, I'm already got the base plate part already, cleaned it up, all that sort of thing. Then I just installed the new one, and for me it just works out just fine that way. Like I say, that way I save the ones that I got in the dispenser. It's got the key or the stem for those injectors that really need the that key. Plate I'm using is a 2-dot, what they refer to as a classic. I'll have a link down below for all that good stuff. Like I said, when I got mine, I got it on sale. They were running a special where I could get the shaver, all the plates, and I got all that right at $100, shipped, no less. It was a darn good buy. It was a while back. This is a really nice shaver. One thing I should point out, if you haven't heard or seen Stephen Hardy's his version of dealing with a shaver like this, make sure if you're working around the sink that you got the plug in it, because you drop that screw, it will be no fun. And he's correct. This shaver here, like a number of others, tapered right here like the PAL, Schick. Number of shavers have, I guess you might say, adopted or used that style, having it tapered there at the end. So with this being smooth, whether you get the matte black or the jet black or whatever version of this that you should happen to get, having it tapered there at the end, you put your little finger underneath there. Helps with control, as well as if you're concerned about the handle getting a little slick because of get soap on your hands, or if the handle gets wet or anything like that, with your little finger underneath there, that helps keep control of that sort of thing. I guess you might say that's how you help remedy that situation. I can shave with this all week. This is such a smooth shaver. I have shaved with all three plates, and have to say that for me, I can just pick a plate. It doesn't really matter. The shaves always turn out really nice for me, but if you're not wanting to spring for the version that has all three plates, you can just buy the one that's got the classic plate and go from there. And then you can add the plates later on. And these screws are available also in case you are concerned that you're going to lose one, which I understand. That screw, that thumb screw, also has a spring around the thread, so it's got a little bit of a, I guess you might say, an action to it. It is the upside of this particular injector as it goes for cleaning, since you can't take it completely apart. It's nothing to it to clean it up. That is the plus side on this one here. For some folks, the downside will be the fact that it does weigh a bit. But if you get used to the weight of the shaver and let the sharpness of the blade do the work, yeah, the shaves come pretty easy. Gentle pressure. The way I look at it, on something that you're unfamiliar with, and shaver that weighs as much as this one here, you definitely want to treat it like you was shaving with an R41. In other words, just gentle pressure. Be very gentle with it. Get used to it. In case you might say it's about like shaving with a shavette. If you're not familiar with this sort of shaver, you give it time. Don't rush it, and just be very easy with it. And it'll all come to you in time. Now, I haven't had any troubles with this. Like I say, I've been shaving with an injector for a while, as well as a shavette. And some of the shavettes that I shave with take blades, like this one here, and others that are thicker than your DE blade. So your shave feel is going to be just a tad bit different, how that blade works across your face. I still whip my lather on the wet side, if you will. It's not a real thick lather or foam. It seems to work well for me. Whipping it up in a yogurt style lather works well for me. And I don't know if that has anything to do with how much that has to do with the shaves that I get, because there seems to be enough slickness and glide. The cushion is still there for me. But even talking on camera, working through my shaves are pretty smooth with this shaver. And I haven't had any trouble with irritation, weepers, nicks, cuts. And I do follow the philosophy of keeping a sharp blade in there. If you think it's getting a little bit dull, in other words, you may have to run your test. See how many shaves you can get with it, and when you get your last shave on it, you might back it off one. That way you kind of trying to guarantee yourself that you're always going to get a smooth, comfortable shave and not risk getting a bad one. Now I waited a while to get this one here. When they first came out, it was hard to wait. It really was. I really wanted one of these. I wanted one bad, but I waited. And at that point in time, if I remember right, they didn't have a polished version one. And when they came out with the polished version one, that's when I bought it. But for me, this is an awesome shaver. Works well for me. I've seen some others that kind of struggled with this shaver. And I hate it for them too, because you hate to spend. I think it's running at right at $79. So you get the two dot plate, the classic plate, and of course you're all excited about getting this shaver, and then struggle with the shaves, and then be disappointed because you're not getting good shaves with it. The way I view these kind of shavers, like I said, is with a shavette. I start out with, I guess you might say, kid gloves. Be very careful with it. The pressure, just let it glide right across your face. And for me, it does. Sometimes I wonder if it just has to do with the blade selection, because you only have Schick and Personna to be choosing from, as far as I know. And I like the Personna blades. They're referred to as being comfort coated, and I think that means that they're Teflon coated. I could be wrong on that. I don't have anything to back that up just yet, but I'm thinking that's what they mean by comfort coated, is that they're Teflon coated. Really nice shaver. Guess you might say, of all of my injectors, I do like my PAA injectors, the two that I have, the Injectomatic and the adjustable. The Schick adjustables, it's a nice shaver, it really is. Of the rest of the Schick injectors, I like the G the most. When I'm looking for a more aggressive one than the E, nothing wrong with the L's, the J's, or anything like that, but I do favor the shorter handle for some reason or another. Just seems to be more comfortable in my hand. And but this one here, in my opinion, it tops them all. Doesn't matter what plate I use, I get nice shaves. Just really happy with it. Once again, that soap whipped up pretty nice, quick and easy. Still got plenty in here for a whole nother shave. Another good 3-pass shave. Shoot, there might even be enough for 2 more. If I really wanted to push it, add a little bit more water, whip it up some more. Horsehair brushes. For me, my experience, I haven't had any issues with them. Especially when the way I lather up, I don't have any problems with the bristles getting tangled up or anything like that, but that's me. I have a number of brushes I rotate through. If I was using this as my daily driver every day, maybe I might experience that, but so far I'm not having any issues quite like that. And I like horsehair brushes. The knots are generally, I'm not sure, I'm wanting to say about 20 millimeter, it might be 22. They're relatively small knots. For me, that means that it's easy and quick to whip up the lather, at least that's my experience. And since I'm not shaving a large area, not using quite as much soap, if that's a concern also. If you're trying to make your soap or shaving cream last a little bit longer. Cream, on the other hand, I can definitely understand it, because a lot of your shaving creams come in relatively small tubes. And if you're using something that's relatively expensive, not on the inexpensive side, you do want your shaving cream to last a while. The soap, 5 ounces, as much soap as I've got, it'll last me a good long while. And the menthol and the in the witch hazel, to me that's the trick right there. I know when this one here runs out and I order some more from Stirling, I'll go back to the unscented mentholated, and I think that's going to be my go-to witch hazel. I don't think I'll go back to anything else. I still have 3 bottles of Humphreys, and I've been tempted to use it, and I might use it here this coming month, December, just right in the corner. Also, one of the things I like about the TFS, what they use, especially if you can read what they're trying to say here. Oh, this has got a little bit of eucalyptus in it. Get the profile right down here on the side, and I'm trying to remember. See, it's got a little bit of a fruit, a musk, eucalyptus, and I'll be darned if I can read the last part of it. But anyway, it is nice to have the scent profile on the side. That to me, that's an awesome idea. As it goes for a restrictor, that's about the size that it has in this aftershave. It's not real small, but it's not real big either. I guess you might call it an in-betweener. It's relatively easy to control how much aftershave is coming out. This is such these scents, in my opinion, the ones I've been using this week, are really nice scents. Just wonderful to use. Gonna be smelling great this morning. Once again, Supply Injector. Handle lot, I think it's like the length is like 4 inches, I think. Don't really have a whole lot in the way of the details. But like I said, when you're messing with that screw right there and you're at the sink, make sure you got the plug in. It will be very sad if it goes down the drain. It'd be a sad morning. Great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.